And now an important question, a really important question, more practical. Which are, in your opinion, the implication of political economy, the implication of monetary economics, and what the government should do? Which are the ideas of political economy coming from this social economy history of thought?
Well, there are 4 points I think that can be relevant. The first is still a little bit a historical point, but it is the history of the present. Because in the last 30 years we have performed or enacted many reforms which in the popular understanding have been presented as liberal, conservative, liberal reforms against the socialist or organization of society. Actually, these reforms have dismantled many or most of the institutions born with or thanks to the perspective of this kind of social economy. So we had in the last 20-30 years the dismantling of the corporative regimes of the past, which assured growth and a reasonable distribution of income. Of course, these regulations were no more fitting the present day organization of the economy or the technological possibilities today to the economy, but we have deregulated with an idea of ideal markets, which is epistemologically not comparable or totally in opposition to the concrete, practical understanding that characterized the reforms made in the previous centuries to build up institutions able to assure solidarity in the country. So we find nowadays in a difficult position because the reforms have not been performed according to the values expressed by our fathers, grandfathers, and so on. And this is one of the sources of our day difficulties. Try to shape again some regulation institution which is able to assure the solidarity. And the problem is how assuring the solidarity today. But the reforms that we have performed have caused many problems. The second point is that, and this is also an important point, European policies have been conceived up to the 1980s according to our principles. So subsidiarity, little slow change to fit the organization of society to a new economic space. But in the 90s we performed an acceleration, which was even prepared before, where we put countries in competition, firms in competition, territories in competition, with a regulation which is sometimes imperative, sometimes is left to the same rule competition. And this kind of arrangement of European competition policies or European economic governance is such that is not so favorable to the local economy, to small firms, and to that dimension of subsidiarity. So regulations are a little bit too favorable or have been conceived for large organization and finance. And so the territory is suffering a little bit of this kind of integration. The European Monetary Union put the cart before the horse. So introduced money hoping that the rest of the economy and society would have followed. And it didn't follow. This is the problem. And in doing so, the monetary union has changed the balance of power in society between capital and labor, but not all capital. A specific form of liquid capital has become too powerful today. While the embedded capital, the capital embedded in the territory and labor have been a little bit sacrificed in sight of an efficiency that has only in part been achieved and causing a lot of cost of transition, of restructuring, and a lot of losers. But the real problem, and this is the fourth point of present-day deflationary policies, is that there is no way out for losers of this situation. So we put everybody in competition in Europe, but what is the solution of losers? Because we find many countries in difficulties, we find many companies in difficulty, we find many families in difficulty, but what is the solution for the losers? These losers, in part, have played a game with some rules which were not fit to their characteristics, but this is gone. The problem is now that they have these losers, we have no solution for these losers. What can we do? And there is a too large part of Europe which is losing. It's not only Greece or Portugal or southern Italy. There is also part of Germany which is in difficulty. There is a large part of France which is every day more in difficulty, and there is no solution coming out. So this is a challenge also for the social economy. So these mechanisms are too much based on technicalities and on abstract technicalities, and there is no practical reasoning applied to the solution of these problems. There is a very theoretical approach which has no answer for many of the negative effects of the situation.
We can talk about a sort of survival of the fittest situation.
Yes, but there are too few fittest. The most of us are losers. What will be our future? This is a real concern in Europe. So the old idea of solidarity, which was encouraging the reinvestment of resources also by the losers, today doesn't exist. So the old solidarity allowed to take higher risk. Today nobody wants to risk anymore money or any other resources. And without solidarity you don't risk, you don't make plans for the future. And this is unbelievable that the rules of Europe do not consider these facts.